In the series of cosmetic solutions to cosmic problems, the ultimate problem, what do you know? There are so many problems, like climate problem is there, pollution problem is there, poverty is there, food shortage is there, education problem is there, and disease problem is there, and there are so many problems. But environmental concerns are there. But ultimately, there is one problem. It is because of that problem. If we are able to address that problem, we should be able to pretty much address all other problems much more effortlessly. Not even much more, very effortlessly. Just like that, we can handle the problems. That is, and this one problem, nobody wants to talk about it because we have not found a nice way of dealing with it. So we want to just keep it under the carpet. But I'm going to talk about it today, okay? So this is, 100 years before from now, okay? We were just 2 billion people on this planet Earth. And now today we are nearly 8 billion people on this planet. So we have grown 4 times. So is it a big problem? Okay, imagine you have a home, okay, you have a house, and if you are whatever the number, like you are 3 people are living or 5 people are living, just multiply that by 4, okay? So if you're 4 people, so you make it 16, okay? So now 16 people are living, okay? From tomorrow onwards, it's going to be 16 people in your home, okay? How would you feel? How would you feel by after 1 week or 2 weeks or 1 month? Do you think even 1 week or 1 month you will be able to sustain that? But that is what is happening to the planet. The planet Earth is the same. 100 years before, it is the same size, and today it is the same size. And we have become 4 times over. So when it is like 16 people in your home, or 4 times the number of what you are today, if it is going to be 4 times tomorrow, so you'll start feeling suffocation, right? You will not feel enough space, you will not feel enough air, enough water, or enough food, or enough lighting or anything. So none of the 5 elements of nature will be enough. And that is what has happened to the whole planet, actually. Just we are not getting into right terms with it. We are like refusing to come to terms with it because everybody wants to grow, right? If today I'm a middle class, I want to become upper middle class, I want to become elite class, I want to become affluent. That's what the natural aspiration is, right? Nobody wants to become poor, right? Everybody wants to, like, if they have a smaller house, they want a bigger house, 1 car, they want 2 cars, or this is a natural expansion. This aspiration to expand cannot be controlled, right? So that's what Sadhguru simply says, that the human aspirations cannot be controlled, only the human numbers can be controlled, and how this number game can be managed. Nobody wants to open up this topic of reducing the human population. So reducing human population means what? Killing the people? No, that cannot happen, right? We cannot kill people. Okay, go, finish, Okay, now too many kangaroo population is there? Okay, finish off. Okay, so many population, finish off. When it comes to every other species, yeah, we can just like that. We can just write an order and then implement it next day. We can finish it off. Yeah, it is because though we feel they are not so precious. Only the human species are precious on this planet, we feel. We have become a more human-centric life. And we feel that, this life is unique and separate, individual, and all other lives are separate, unique, and individual, and they are least important, we feel. Yeah, we will come to that later. Coming back to the number game of the human population here. So, the thing is, we are 4 times over. Not just 4 times over is the problem, okay? What we were consuming 100 years before, per capita consumption 100 years before and today, how many times it has gone up, do you think? The amount of water you use, amount of energy that you use, amount of anything, the clothes or the footwear or anything, the food or anything that you use, you consume. So overall, in terms of that, it has easily crossed over 1,000 times. 100 years or 200 years before, if you have to use water, you go to the river and consume water, like consume in terms of, you want to bathe or wash the clothes or whatever you want to do, you go to the river and wash and did things and then come back home. And maybe a small little pot, carry home to drink water, that's all. Now, you open up the tap and you can run any amount of water because water is pumped from the underground bowel or from the metro supply is coming. So you use, nobody bothered about it. So in terms of consumption, it has gone up like over 1,000 times. So 1,000 times with 4 times, like 8 billion people with 1,000 times over consuming, what kind of resources we are like, we are sucking out of this planet. We are just totally ripping off the planet, isn't it? Yes, definitely. Like, everywhere, the amount of earth moving machineries that we are using, you imagine? Like, every other day, thousands and millions of drillings are being done on the planet, right? To extract water or the oil or something or other. And earth moving equipments are everywhere doing, something, changing the landscapes everywhere and doing something. And anything that you consume, morning to evening, throughout your life, anything that you are consuming, where is it coming from? From this planet. Anything that you consume, whether it is a car or a safety pin or anything, everything comes from the planet. That means you are digging the planet. Like somewhere or the other, something is dug and then, processed, converted, and so many things are happening. And so it is complete defacing of the planet is happening actually. And at the consuming rate that we are today, if it was like, pre-petroleum and pre-electric times, it would have been like, okay, even 8 billion people, it would have been nice, like, it was not nice, I want to say, like, it would have still survived. There will be natural selection, there will be a lot of diseases, there will be people killed, like, by diseases or other animals or whatever it is. And that's a different way of managing things. The nature will do it. But now we have overpowering the nature and we have taken it on our hands. And how we are doing it, that's what is very important now. So coming back once again to this population number. So human aspirations cannot be controlled. How you want to go, you cannot go and tell, right now I have a home, okay, I cannot go and tell, somebody who is living in a smaller home, okay, it is not good for the environment, you live in the small home itself, okay, that is what is good. I have a better home now, I cannot tell him to not have a better home, okay. And somebody is having a great bungalow and a great estate, and he cannot tell me that, you are a nice guy, you are managing to live in like this, but if my aspirations are to grow like them, then I cannot be controlled. Like human aspirations cannot be controlled, right? So, the people at the elite class and the more and more top, they can stand as an example to show how to live minimal, okay? But not, a poor man cannot become an example. Nobody will look at him, right? Will anybody look at a poor guy to see how to lead a simplistic life and learn from him? No. Only, we always look up to rich. We always look up to the big money making people. That is the norm that has become. Like whoever is rich, whatever they do, whether it is right or wrong, whether it is healthy or not, whether it is good for the planet or not, but that's what we want to do. That is how the whole population is moving all the time, right? Yeah. See, there are many examples, like there was a time only the rich people can afford to eat idli and dosa or the white rice every day, okay? Other people has to live with the millets and other, which were like very commonly available and very cheap to available in this camp. So for about like 20, 25 years or 30 years, it was, everybody was craving like, how to have the everyday idli and dosa and the rice and the white rice and everything. Now, whether it was good or bad, people realized it only after 25, 30 years or 40 years of consumption. They realized, it is causing so much trouble. But the natural aspiration was, the rich people are able to afford the rice, the white rice and the idli and dosa every day kind of thing. and that's what we want to look up to and to move forward. And now en masse all the big population has come to that state, and the industries and everybody benefited out of it. And now what? Huge number of population is diabetic and so many other problems. Now we are figuring out, and the elite and the rich people has moved to the other level. And now we are looking, oh, now all the millets are going up, the prices are like 2 times or 3 times. Now those are only elites are able to have it. Now once again we are looking forward to that and then going. So it is only what the elite on the rich and the affluent will do. That's what the human population, the human crowd, or the is going to look up and aspire for. So ultimately we cannot stop the aspiration. So there is no, unless the elite and the affluent people choose, some of them at least, even people like the billionaires of the world, if some of them, they've been billionaires for many years, like for 10 years or 15 years, or generational billionaires, millionaires are there. So if some of them choose, like as an example, to lead a simplistic life, then that can be one way of approach. But that I cannot say, like nobody else can say, oh, please do something like that. Nobody is going to listen that. Okay, so unless there is an awakening and the consciousness comes out of them, that they can make a big impact by doing that, like Buddha, who did that. Okay, walked as a beggar from a king, and he inspired thousands of people to and set forth a great movement and change lives of people. So unless that happens, so that is one way of doing it. Okay, for that, I have to become rich and affluent, and then I have to renounce everything to become an example. Or somebody, I don't know, like if somebody can be inspired like that. But what is the other way around to reduce the human numbers? So the other way around is, here comes the big problem, who will reduce? Oh, so Muslims are, creating a lot of children. No. Then if the Hindus, we are reducing, only producing less children, then they will become big. Their race will become big, and they will dominate. And no, we should also do. And they will think, if we reduce, we are already minority, and these people will crash us further, and they will treat us, they'll feel so as a kind of security. Lot of this poor people, and for a poor people, having more and more children, they feel secure. That's one of the reason, not just the medical procedures. They are not having access to the medical procedures. They feel it's a very nature for the human beings to feel secure by having just more proliferating more. So that is also very much understandable. So how are we going to approach this? Okay. So it's not just about the religion wise, within the religion also, caste wise. Oh, my caste people will be less, your caste people will be less. Who should produce less? Who should people can volunteer, people can understand these things and volunteer. Okay, let's not have 3 kids, let's have 2 kids, or let's have only 1 kid, or and most important thing is, as a society, all of us, what we want to know is, when we have this kind of a problem, at least now we need to bring in culture where, do you think all the population, the entire population, entire world population, every man and woman feels that they want to reproduce? Do you think? But that's how the world is treating them, is like everybody has to reproduce, like in terms of there are people, there are countries where it's not, when it comes to India, okay, see, it's marriage mainly. When it comes to reproducing children and things, marriage is an important step. Okay, like you get a partner or whatever else in other parts of the world. So here it is called marriage. Okay, so what people do is, it seems like an unwritten rule that everybody should get married, and that kinds of create pressure in every human being. Okay, I'm moving on to, okay, I'm becoming like 20, 25, I'm approaching 30, so I should get married. Otherwise the society is going to look at, every other corner, people will ask, are you not getting married? Why? What's the problem? This kind of, especially the girls, if they are not getting married, they get even more problem. So What do you think? Everybody should get married, really? See, like Sadhguru says, a marriage or the companionship is done for several needs, for financial need, for emotional need, for companionship, or like physical needs, sexual needs, these kind of things. There are so many needs, okay? If there is a strong sexual desire or a physical need, they must get married, okay? And then if there is like emotional companionship, they should also get married. So for whatever reason, if you're clear you want to get married, you need a company, go get married, okay? But there are people like, at least easily, like for 30%, at least 30% of the people, this kind of need is just a passing need, the physical need or some kind of a companionship need or something kind, to get married or have a life with another and create children and this kind of thing is just a passing need. It may be because of the age or something, it may be a little bit of a temptation is there, but after that they're okay, they're like, they get dedicated to science or technology or whatever it is, or the society or so many things. They want to just sports, they want to explore their life individually. But have we given that space to the society? That is the biggest problem in India particularly, okay? In many other cultures, it can be a different thing, but this is what, even in other cultures, there's a kind of indirect compulsion, like, oh, you're already 9 or 10, you don't have a girlfriend, you haven't found a girl. Even the parents and the parents of other kids, get to, oh, you haven't found a girlfriend for you so far. It's a kind of pressure. A boy or a girl can live, without a girlfriend or a boyfriend, just friends. So, and this is, because I have succumbed to these forces, it's not necessary that everybody else has to succumb to these natural forces of, proliferating and, bringing in children, about 30% of the people, they do not know why they get married and why they got into children's and why they're living this kind of a life. Oh, all of a sudden they realize that, oh, why have I got into such a thing? They have so many engagement, they feel that they are just like that, they're all right. But it has because of this peer pressure of the citizens, peer pressure of the society, culture and everything is making people get into these kind of lives. If we can just at least leave them alone, okay? You don't have to reduce your religion, like your population, my caste population, this caste population. I'm not getting into that, we don't even to go to that extent. At least start this simple step of recognizing there can be people in the society who can be unmarried, like living without a partner, and they can explore something, okay? If there is a need, they get married. If there is no need, don't compel them, and also give them an option. Every child, every growing child, you give them an option. There is an option like you to lead a life without getting married. Yeah, this is need of the time. This is not that human beings, human species is going to extinct, and you have to recommend every child to produce as many children as possible so that you save the human race. No, we are not in that condition. And when we are going to face such a condition, we have to teach in a different way. We have to educate people in a different way and give space for that as well. But right now, we are in the other end. We are in the other way. So now, to start with, we don't have to say don't get married, don't get children. We don't have to create rules like that. But at least those who are naturally capable, those who have the natural tendency to live freely, live individually, and explore arts or science or spirituality or whatever it is, give them those avenues, allow them to live freely, whether man or woman. We need to give that, right? So if we can create such avenues, so there should be a common understanding in the society. There are space for people who are unmarried and live an unmarried life throughout their life, and they can explore. If they just want to go around and then spend their life, and what's your problem? Why do you want to all the time bother him, right? So if there is sexual need, if there is physical need, if there is no emotional need, companionship need, let them get married. Otherwise, why are you bothering? And if somebody wants just only for let them have girlfriends or boyfriends, like in colleges, and it will be okay. they had girlfriend for through the, it has become very normal, like, you have a boyfriend or girlfriend during your high schools and schools, and colleges you have maybe the same girlfriend or boyfriend or a different girlfriend boyfriend. Things changes and you like people and you don't like people. Just allow them to be the way they are. You don't make principles, you don't make compulsions out of them. So just by allowing this, okay, easily 30% of the population move out of not producing children. Okay, even out of the 30%, if they later decide to do certain things, at least 20% will still be not producing children. Okay, not even get to the state of like not even get to the state of need of a company. Okay, there will be like there is another stage that I want to say. Man has grown for so many millions of years with the company of a woman, and it's so ingrained in him, and so begetting children can be like that. So that's why I say it is 70% of the people and only the 30% I'm taking. But in that 30%, okay, there can be people who just want a companion, a partner in the life, just to share everything in their life and chit chat and go in the life and travel in the life, and not necessarily they want to produce children. But by the time you get married, you have a partner, people start asking, why are you not having children? A kind of, once again, a peer pressure, a lot of peer pressure, a cultural pressure, all kinds of pressure they pour onto them to make them feel, oh, maybe they are not incapable, the boy is incapable, the girl is incapable, all kinds of poking and the temptations people do somehow, to bring them in that major lot of but guy, you can do that when the human species is going on the negative side. Now we are not, now we are falling short of everything, falling short of space, air, light, and everything. There's not space, there's not room, we are suffocating. So we want such people to contribute. They are the greatest volunteers. We should appreciate them, we should find such people, and then we glorify such people. So we should allow couples without kids. We should appreciate them, we should recognize them, we should incentivize them. They should become, they should not be like more like discriminated in the society. We should, the acceptance to such people, they are doing a great contribution. Such kind of a thing needs to evolve. They should live casually like anybody else. Why only their own child should come, they should only take care of them, even that has gone. So it's mostly like you should have to take care of yourself. Even if you have your own child, you have to still take care of yourself. There's no guarantee. So when that is the situation, then why you are creating pressure to create children by the couple? So first stage is allow, when as a child they are growing up, and as a school going children, as a college going children, allow them and show them there is an option. You can get married, or you can get into a relationship, or live freely, or live alone individually. There is an option like that. Don't show that everybody gets married, everybody goes to college, everybody does this. Let's not like generalize things. Let's not generalize marriage. Let's not generalize proliferating and perpetuating children's and begetting children's. Let's not do that. First step, human being, man or woman or any gender, can live individually. That is the first thing that we as a society we need to recognize and give space for them, equal space for them and recognition for them. Number two, couples without kids. Okay, so people can join together, have companions and live together. Not necessarily they have to produce children. Don't create such peer pressures and trouble them. Okay, and bring a culture of like inclusive culture of having everybody as a part. It's not everybody getting married, everybody is around. How it would be nice, like there are like married people, this many people are married. We have society, there are like unmarried people are there, they are living freely individually, and there are couples who doesn't have kids and they are also part of the society. You don't enforce what you are onto them, and let them not enforce what they are. Allow them. What I'm asking is, what is, if there is no natural urge in them, allow them to flower individually. If you have an urge, you go and do whatever you want to do. That is what we as a society we need to provide for them. And also, more importantly, uh, many of the Western societies is recognizing and bringing in this, and in India we should also do this. you know like I say for the unmarried, like I say for the married couples without children, we should also have equal recognition, and the mix of people, and brings in equal mix of people for the transgenders, whatever kind of transgenders maybe. They should be treated as normal as any other uh, human being, right? In our locality, we should be able to give space for them. Right now there is a culture of fear about them. Even myself right now, looking at them, I was very fearful, like about 5-6 years. They may be a different kind of human being. I'm fearful, running away from them. They can live as much as, like, they can be like us, very much like us. They can be into government services like any other job. They don't have to like go in the roads and beg and do some other nasty jobs. They have to withdraw from their homes and then run away somewhere and then join somewhere. They make their own community and do, not having avenues. I think we should, it is time that we bring in like laws, or the quota system. We are providing quota system for so many caste wise. Quota system is there for bringing up the deprived people. So the same way we should bring in transgenders in our education systems, in our governments and everywhere. So they become very part of the natural part of our society. We should bring them in. We should embrace them and bring them in. Okay. So I've given two main measures. If we can do these two main measures, we can look at the third one. The third measure to control the population explosion. All of these measures are, without any kind of, like divisive nature in the society, who to do, without much difficulty, without much problem. What the politicians or the governments are fearing to take up this matter and speak is, who should reduce the population. So without getting into that sensitive aspect, we can still achieve this. That's what I'm coming into the third point of this. Without getting into that sensitive area, there is a third way to do it. That is, the third way to do is like recommend and bring awareness in the people to beget children's a little later. Okay. If there are people who are the communities and people who are bringing in children's by they are like 20s, they can easily push it to 25, right? There's no harm. There's really no harm in making children when they are like 25. So whatever, maybe the education is needed to make them do that, or whatever is needed. We have to recommend and make them understand that no hurry in bringing in children. So pushing it like 4 years, 5 years. And those who are like educated, they know that they are capable, healthy. You maintain your body healthy, fertile, keep your body and everything fertile. Okay. And it's not that only with the hormonal when the hormonal peak is there, you have to create the children. No. If you're physically good and strong, you well maintained yourself, then you can create children even in 30s, right? There are people who are creating children in 40s as well. Yeah. So by just postponing like 5 years or 10 years, like, if instead of, imagine like if 20 million people, instead of begetting children, they beget children only after 5 years. Okay. It makes a huge difference. After all, it is like everybody is not going to be here for permanently. The 5-year shift is going to bring in, the footfall time on the planet. It's going to be a big change.